Hey, what's the crack? Welcome to the video where I will be showing you how I got the absolute shit scared out of me while going for the Platinum Trophy in Resident Evil 2. So join me as I show you how I survived the nightmare. Also, this game will have spoilers. And we start this off at a petrol station of all places with one of the main characters called Leon. Moving on from the gas station, I acquired my first trophy called Welcome to the City of the Dead. And you get this for making your way from the gas station to the police station after running past some spooky zombies. And after getting into the police station, we meet our first sort of alive person, Marvin. I also find my next trophy in the police station called The Basics of Survival. And I gained this trophy by mixing two herbs together. It doesn't have to be the same herbs, it can be two different ones. Here's a weird thing. Why is everything in this police station locked with a weird key that you have to find somewhere else? Like, it's great for a zombie outbreak and all, but like, what were they doing before this zombie outbreak? But speaking of the zombie apocalypse, this actually leads me into my next trophy called That'll Hold 'em. And you can secure this trophy by placing boards over a window so zombies can't get in anymore. I mean, if you've seen this at your window, would you let him in? One of them did find their way in, which was great because they helped me get my next trophy called Eat This. And I got my hands on this trophy by using a counterattack after being grabbed by a zombie. You can use a grenade, a knife, or a flashbang. Managing your items in this game is very important, and this trophy, Hip to Add Squares, helps with that. And I got this for upgrading my inventory slots, and I definitely recommend collecting these. Who do these zombies think they are, kicking open doors around here like they own the place? Do they pay bills around here? Anyways, let's move on to the next trophy I acquired called A Vault Like Mind. And I got this for sorting out one of the two portable vaults. And trying to solve one of these puzzles was an absolute pain in the ass. And these things called lickers were just as big as a pain in the ass as the last thing. But it didn't stop me from getting my next trophy called Keeping Their Heads Ringing. And I got this for paralyzing a licker's sense of hearing. It also took me ages to realize I could just walk past lickers instead of running. But what I did realize is how to claim my next trophy called First Break-In. And I claimed this by opening my first dial safe. And these safes can contain different things like inventory upgrades or even weapon upgrades. So either way, they're definitely worth opening. Did anybody else just get completely lost while wandering around this station, or was that just me? But while wandering around, I did discover my next trophy called Customizer. And of course, this is gotten by upgrading one of your guns. Path of the Goddess was the next trophy I unlocked. And how you can unlock this trophy is by going around the police station and collecting 3 medallions. And with all the 3 medallions in hand, you then unlock a secret underground exit. This underground passage just reminds me of when I used to build a secret room in my single player Minecraft world. Did anybody else do this? After going through the Minecraft secret exit, we get introduced to a new character who I like to call Dr. Dad. And that's not the only new character we get introduced to. We also get introduced to a new one called Ada Wong. She's like a super secret spy. Leon and Ada then try to make an escape, but first they need a parking permit. And while on the hunt for that parking permit, I acquired my next trophy, Vermin Extermination. And I got this for shooting a bobblehead called Mr. Raccoon. There's a good few of these around the map and they are hard to spot. Why is it with a game full of zombies, I find the dogs the most annoying part? And then we get to meet one of the most infamous villains throughout this whole game series, Mr. X. And he also gives me my next trophy called Hats Off. And I got this for, guess what? Shooting his hat off. Oh, he's not happy that I shot that hat off. Well, if he wasn't going to kill you before, he's definitely going to now. After somehow making it away from Mr. X, I got my next trophy called Never Ending Rain. And you get this for getting the parking permit and leaving the underground garage with Ada Wong. And the two of them quickly find out that there's nowhere else to go but the sewers. And it leads to Hack Complete, which was the latest trophy I acquired. And this trophy is acquired by completing Ada Wong's section of the game. Continuing on, I unlocked my next trophy called A Great Need for a Shower. And I got this for completing the sewers and then leaving them far behind. Does anyone actually like doing the puzzles in these games? Because when I think of horror games, I don't think of puzzles. But let's move on to the next trophy, which was like skeet shooting. And you can claim this trophy by shooting either a dog or a licker out of midair. I don't know why, but my first playthrough of this game, I didn't want to put anything into one of them boxes. And this is why it was great to get this next trophy called A Waste of Space. And this is for maxing out all your inventory slots. This is one of the most important items of the game to complete it. Could you imagine if this thing just broke and held on to it? And we get a very special appearance from none other than Dr. Dad. And now we're on to the next trophy I got called A Hero Emerges. And this is got for simply completing Leon's story. And now we're on to the second part of the story with someone different called Claire. And I think she has some sort of famous brother. But it's not long before I get my first trophy with Claire called Zombie Roundup, and this is for killing 3 zombies at once with a grenade. It's like a very dangerous and bad game of bowling. We then get into the police station and then make a massive discovery that Mr. X got his hat back. Claire doesn't have Ada Wong to help her. Instead, she has a little girl called Sherry. And with the mention of Sherry, she leads us to her next trophy called Hide and Seek. And what I'm talking about is you get this trophy by completing Sherry's section of the game. Claire and Sherry end up meeting again and getting chased by Mr. X, which leads them to none other than the sewers. Sherry gets hurt while in the sewers, so we decide to take her somewhere a bit more safe. And with Sherry cured, the both of them decide that it's time to leave this place. I unlocked 2 trophies here, one called A Heroine Emerges, which I got for completing Claire's story, and the next trophy that I got was called Broken Umbrella, and I got this trophy for completing Claire's story and Leon's story to witness the true ending. And this is where the fun begins, because now we're going on to a hardcore mode. And what I have to do in this hardcore mode is limit my saves to just 3 and complete the game in under 2.5 hours. For this as well, you have to fight a completely different way, so I had to look up a guide. I will link it down below in case anybody wants to watch it, because it is quite good. And this does lead to my next trophy called Don't Need No Stinking Gun, and this is got for defeating an enemy with a knife. For the first playthrough of this game, I carried around this key not knowing that you could inspect it. Ah shit, I think he's still mad about the hat. Run Leon, run! How is it this normal zombie is more of a pain in the ass than the lad that can't be killed and follows you around? And now to show you the next trophy unlocked called Bon Appetit. And you can acquire this by shooting the grenade that you just put in a zombie's mouth. In the guide I was watching, he did things a bit different here, but I found it a lot easier to do it this way. So if you're going to play this game, do whatever feels right for you. The rage I felt while trying to complete this last part is unmatched to anything I've ever felt. But I eventually got past it and got to my next trophy called In the Blink of an Eye, and I got this for beating the Super Tyrant with 5 minutes to spare, and it feels so good to beat him. 2 more trophies here unlocked, and the first one was called Hardcore Rookie, and this was for completing Leon's story once again, but on hardcore mode. And the next trophy I conquered was called Leon S. Kennedy, and this is for completing the game mode while getting an S plus rank on standard or hardcore mode. Completing the game mode as Leon does give you some benefits, and one of them is a rocket launcher with infinite shots, but unfortunately I don't get to use it yet because I'm going to do hardcore mode with Claire, and you can't use any of them type of weapons, otherwise you'll just get an S rank instead of an S plus rank. The 2 stories play out similarly enough, except Claire has to take a different route and get a different key. I also find what I think is the coolest USB drive I've ever seen. And then we're back with Sherry once again, and I want to point out this puzzle is just absolute dog shit. I then went on to unlock my next trophy, Master of Unlocking, and this is acquired by opening all safes and all locks throughout the game. Hardcore College Student was one of the next 2 trophies I managed to unlock. Got this for completing her story on hardcore mode. Sizzling Scarlet Hero was the next one I unlocked, and this as well is for completing Claire's story on standard or hardcore mode with an S or S plus rank. Completing Claire's story on hardcore mode gives you a minigun to play with. I may have gone a bit overboard here. While playing through Leon's story again, I got my next trophy called One Slick Super Spy, and this is for completing Ada Wong's section without shooting any zombies. And while I have a minute in this calm environment, why not leave a like or even subscribe? But back to the trophies, and the next one I got was called Gotcha, and I got this for defeating Dr. Dad while using the crane only one time. The rocket launcher made this so much easier. And once again, I finished Leon's story but get a different trophy here called Frugalist, and this was got by not using any healing items throughout the whole game. I also got another trophy here called A Small Carbon Footprint, which you get for taking less than 14,000 steps throughout the game. The next trophy that I managed to secure was called Young Escape, and I got this for escaping the room Sherry is trapped in under 60 seconds. With another playthrough done, I unlocked another trophy called Minimalist, and you get this for not using the storage boxes throughout the whole game. On one of my last few runs, I got the next trophy called Treasure Hunter, and how you get this trophy is by finding film around the station, then developing it and using the photos then to find treasures, and you have to do this twice. Moving on to the next trophy I got called Complete Vermin Extermination, and this is for taking out all the Mr. Raccoons throughout both sides of the story. I then got what was one of the longer trophies in this game called Lore Explorer, and you get this for picking up all the lore pieces throughout Leon and Claire's stories. And then with Claire I got another trophy called With Time to Spare, and I got this for defeating Dr. Dad with 4+ minutes remaining. Once again, it was not that hard to do with the rocket launcher. And now for one of the most randomest trophies I got called Grim Reaper, and I say it's random because you get this trophy for completing a DLC quest as one of the mercenaries that you see throughout the game. And then of course the platinum trophy unlocks for this game, and it was a very fun game to play. I recommend it. But in saying that, this rating I would give is a 7 out of 10 just because of the hardcore play mode and how much you have to learn to complete it. And there is a small bit of luck to this game as well. And with that done, this video is now finished. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and goodbye.